Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Wait,
Oh,
I'm trying to put it in my AirPod because I'm still at work. Let's see.
I don't.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Get everything together. Well, first of all, let me start the professional way. Hello, Miss Ransom. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. My name is Quanda, middle initial R, last name Graves, and I am a journalist for California Crusader newspaper. And I want to thank you for allowing me to interview you today.
No problem. What's the newspaper name?
California Crusader newspaper.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for taking the time to interview me.
Oh, this is very exciting. I'm always interested in things of this magnitude. This is big. Okay. So usually people start off with like, who are you? What's your name? I don't start off that way. I start off with, how did you know that you wanted to be a lawyer?
Oh, that's the story. So I didn't. You know how some kids grow up and say, when I grow up, I want to be a lawyer? That was never me. I wanted to be an accountant. But so two things happened. In high school, I was in my government class, and our teacher brought in a probation officer, a police officer, and a guy that had been convicted of a white collar crime. And so that kind of sparked my interest in criminal law, but I didn't act on it. I still went to one semester junior college and studied accounting. My friend brought an application to me to join the sheriff's department as a dispatcher. So I did that for 17 years. Well, within that time, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And so I had always wanted to do something in the criminal justice field, but I didn't know quite what. And so I was diagnosed with breast cancer. My second diagnosis, I was in City of Hope being treated with the high dose chemo and stem cell transplant. And my aunt came to visit me, and she had just graduated from this law school, University of West Los Angeles in Inglewood. So, in there, like looking at my life, am I going to make it and what's going on? And I promised God, if he spared my life, I would do something great with it. So when I got out, I went to law school. Just the conversation with my aunt kind of sparked my interest. I'm going to go to law school. I'm always
to intercede. Congratulations on
cancer
free.
Right. Wow. I had another bout since then in 2008, but cancer free since 2009, since I finished chemotherapy.
Okay.
Right. So I went to law school and I went part-time. I was a single mom, and I went to law school part-time, and I worked full-time as a dispatcher for the sheriff's department. And so I've always had an interest in criminal law. I believe in law and order. I believe in justice and, just being just and being fair. And so I got the opportunity to apply for the district attorney's office, and I got hired. So I moved from dispatching the police to a location to actually prosecuting cases. And then it was funny. I was a dispatcher for 17 years. I've been a deputy district attorney for 17 years. It's something about 17.
17, that's your number. That's what it is. 17
right.
is your lucky number.
Right, now I'm running for judge.
Okay, so hold on one second. I know that you have to be a lawyer in order to become a judge.
Yes.
So first of all, let's just say wow and congratulations on that. To even want to do that journey is something really, really different. So congratulations, right?
Thank you. Thanks.
So was this always your ultimate goal as far as like when you became a lawyer? Did you say, okay, now I want to be a judge, or is this something that happened along the way as well?
It happened along the way. So everything happens along the way for me. Okay. I don't set out to do it. It just happens. And then when I get in there, I kind of see what I can do. And so I just decided that, probably maybe 5 years ago or so, I think I want to be a judge, but I want to get a little bit more experience being an attorney. And so I thought this year was open for election, I'm going to run, so I decided to run. I talked to a few people, and, they told me the ins and outs about running. And so I just put my name out there and decided to run. So it's not something, like I said, that I grew up saying, I want to be a lawyer, then I want to be a judge. It's kind of happened along the way because I see a need for diversity on the bench. I see a need for representation on the bench. Yes, it is. Growing up in South
Carolina, to even want to take on that is something I think that's profound within, right?
Yeah.
So what I know a little bit about the judging process, I know a judge, and I remember when he was running, he was a lawyer as well. And you get about 75 references. That's just alone. Is that still the case, or is there more?
75. Yes.
This is crazy. I said, oh my God. I said, the process must be completely grueling. And he said it really is, because he said, remember, you're on the bench and you are presiding over people's lives. And you're supposed to be an upstanding person with a clear perspective. Nothing is black and white, right? But you must have a clear perspective as to when you get ready to make these judgment calls, because they can come back one day. So tell me, now that you're here, right? Can you share with me like the process along the way, like how you're feeling about it? Like now that you're in it, what is that like?
Oh my God, and am I in it? It's a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of networking, and I'm kind of a person, like, I work a long day of work, and I want to go home and relax and watch Family Feud.
Okay.
I don't do that anymore. I've always been a people person and social, because I grew up playing softball. I played softball in high school. I played softball as an adult. And I have my group of friends because, like I said, I was born and raised in LA County. And so you think at the outset, I'm going to run. This is a time we need Black women on the bench. We have Ketanji Brown Jackson, who was just appointed to the United States Supreme Court. This is a time.
Right.
This is the most grueling process ever, because, you see how long it took you and I to schedule this. So
yes.
I'm because I still work full time. I'm in court all day, and I work in the mental health court in Hollywood. So I'm in court all day. And in the evening, I'm trying to go to Zoom meetings. I'm trying to meet people. I'm trying to get my name out to voters, because it's very difficult for voters to select a judge because they don't know anything about us.
It's true.
I try to reach out to as many people as I can in any format that I can. So I'm using social media. I'm going to events, and it makes for a long day. Ask my house. I haven't cleaned my house in I don't know how long.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's livable, but I literally run in, Zoom, take a shower, change clothes, take a shower, go to bed. So that's my day. I'm up early to come to work. But on the weekends, I'm trying to meet people and speak to people. I'm going to different churches and just doing everything I can to get out to the voters and let them know who I am and what I stand for.
Well, you know what? Before we go to this next question, I actually want to be a part of that. I'm going to start sharing you with people that I know. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do the interview. As an African-American woman, and I'm a creative. I do all kinds of things, and this is one of them. And so when I come across people who are upstanding and working their way, and people don't understand that it's very, very, very grueling in a way to do the right thing, right? You can be naturally right, but like to push forward, and you don't mind fighting. That's what I seen in Sharon.
Oh yeah,
Sharon. That's right. She was like, I'm a fighter, and that's what I'm gonna do. And so that's something that I can most definitely appreciate, because the fight can get hard and it can get tiring. And the fact that you want to do it, that's something that I truly admire. That's number one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's profess in the air, as I talked to you before when you just had met me. I was like, we're going to call you Judge Ransom, right?
Put it in the air.
In the air that you win.
Yeah.
What is actually like your vision as a judge? This is like a couple of parted questions, because it's like, what is your vision as a judge? What kind of judge do you want to be, and what do you want us to learn from you?
So I want to be the kind of judge, like I said, we need representation. And I think a judge has a power to make a decision that could affect a person's life negatively or positively. And I want to be able to be the type of judge that takes each case on its own individual merits, looking at the participants involved and, the facts of the crime, take the law, apply the facts to the law, and use discretion in deciding what is the best outcome for everybody. So in some cases, the best outcome might be prison, might be jail, might be a program, might be probation. But I think judges need to, because our communities are so diverse, it's important that a judge understand the diverseness of our communities and different cultures and just different things that people bring to the court system, and look at why they became involved. And, is it mental illness? Is it drug addiction? Is it poverty? Is it lack of understanding, lack of knowledge? And I think all of that is so important in making a decision. I don't believe in a judge picking up a file, looking at a crime that was committed, and then just passing judgment. And some of my favorite judges, bless you, some of my favorite judges are the ones that actually engage people in conversation to see where they're going, what they want,
Get a feel for them.
get a feel. Yeah. Instead of, like a person could go their whole life. Bless you.
I'm sorry.
Can go their whole life crime free and then all of a sudden pick up all these offenses. Well, did something happen? Did they become homeless? Did they lose their job? Did the mental illness just manifest itself? Because sometimes it comes out later in life, to see what it is this person is going through at that time.
Because everything is not black and white. It's true.
Exactly. And those are things that we need to fix if we want to have a safe community. And I'm not saying by any means that I can make it safe by being a judge, but any part that I can play in treating people. I think if you treat the people and their conditions, it makes people whole. It makes our community whole. It makes safer communities. And so if you put a mentally ill person in jail time after time after time, you're not doing anything. It's not benefiting that person. It's not benefiting society at all. So like now I work in the mental health court, and my eyes have really been open to the great problem between mental illness, homelessness, and crime. And I see the whole gamut of it on a daily basis. So I think that's the kind of judge I want to be, is the kind that takes everybody's individual circumstances to see what brought us here. And I'm not by any means saying open up the jails and let everybody out. I'm not saying put everybody in jail. I think I'm more balanced because I was raised in South Central Los Angeles by a single mother. I've seen the trends change, and I've seen the increase in gangs, the increase in drugs in our community. Mm-hmm. And I've seen where different laws have affected, where the kids could no longer go to the summer program in the park. So they were basically babysitting themselves. And that's kind of where I feel like we lost a little guidance. As a kid with my single mom, I went to the park every day, and they had programs for us. We played caroms, we played checkers. They gave us lunch, but it was a supervised program. And then they got rid of that. And then the year-round school came, where parents didn't have someone to watch their kid year-round. And so a lot of kids end up raising themselves. And so I've seen the changes in the community. And so I can understand it a little bit more than, some judges that aren't in the community, not involved in the community, and don't understand what goes on in the community. And quite frankly, a lot of people in the court system look like me, come from my background.
It's true. And you know what? I will say that to even have a positive, full perspective when you get ready to make a decision means the world. Because how many times have some people just skimmed over a case and they missed one piece of detail that if they just would have took 10 more minutes, this innocent person wouldn't be in jail. So I understand that completely. And I love the fact that you have a clear understanding that most of the people look like us. So we need someone who, we're not saying go scot-free. We're not saying that you can't take accountability. We're saying that we want to give you a fair chance, because if you didn't do this, we want to make sure that we've looked through everything to make sure that you got a fair fight, a fair trial, a fair, detail-oriented once over, and then we can see what we can do. And I think having a full perspective can spark a great positive change, because oftentimes I feel like there is a narrow perspective when decisions are made.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons I volunteer to teach Project Lead to fifth graders. So we have a program, we teach fifth graders about the criminal justice system and the importance of making good life choices. I also volunteer for Teen Court, and that's a diversion program for teenagers that have their first arrest. And if they successfully go through this probation type program, it's diversion, meaning, and actually the student government, their peers are the jury, and ask them questions and ask their parent or guardian questions. And then I take the peers to go to deliberate and see what should happen to this minor, and see if they find him guilty or not guilty. And then
that's wonderful.
The probation. And so that program, they can get that arrest sealed, their record sealed, and go on to have a future. And I do this because I think it starts at the Project Lead with the fifth graders.
Of course.
If we can keep
our youth space.
Exactly. So if we can keep our youth out of the system that is so hard for them to get out of, then I think it makes for better people. And for me, I just love to encourage African-American students, especially girls, that I was raised by a single mom. I was a single mom. I would have never thought, you could have never told me I'd be on the ballot running for judge.
Wow.
So I'm just
Your
honored,
confidence
humbled
really
by
does.
that. You know, so I'd love to encourage, and you can do it. You can do it. Even when people tell you can't, or you think you can't, or you think I can't get into that college. When I was growing up, my mom told me, go to college or get a job. I wanted a car, I wanted all this stuff. So I got a job. And then when I sat back and I got ready, I went back to school. As an adult, I had a child, you know, so I went back to school. And I want people to know that you don't always take the path of going from high school to college with your parents paying for it.
No,
you
don't.
can still do it. There are grants, there are student loans. Don't
Very
limit
much so.
yourself, you know.
Yes.
So I always talk to them about that and I want them to see a Black woman in the position that I am and know that it wasn't easy to get here, but it's doable.
It is doable. You're doing it. That's what it is. That's what you're showing. Now, I want you to know that I would ask you this, even if you were a male. This is just something I want to know. Like, in regard to this journey, this is no easy feat. So, are you scared?
Am I scared? Mm-hmm. I don't know to say I'm scared. You know why? Because I get nervous about, you know, do people know who I am? Are they going to vote for me? I have faith, and I feel like God would not have put me here if I wasn't supposed to be here. So even the days that I'm down, like, man, I didn't get that endorsement from that club, I gave them my all. I just still have to go back to God would not have put me here if I wasn't supposed to be here.
You have to stay clinging to him.
Yeah. He brought me through cancer. He got me through law school. I passed the bar the first time. He's put me in so many positions to make a difference that I just feel like
you don't have a right to doubt, do you?
I don't know. Not at all.
Not at all.
Even on my down days, I'm like telling my consultant, oh, today wasn't a good day. I have to and I do have to do a lot of regrouping to remind myself that this is where I'm supposed to be. So
very good. That's something that is mostly needed on this journey as you continue.
Oh, absolutely. You have to have thick skin and just be able to stay the course. And if I can go through chemotherapy, I can do this. I can do this. Chemotherapy.
Yes, because my mother just went through chemo and she cancer free as well. So yeah, and she's 86. So yeah, it was different.
That age is tough.
What you mean, tough skin, and if you can do that, you can do that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now, I don't know if this is going to be a broad question or not, but usually this is what people have when they have their sights set on something that they want to do. So you are about to become a judge. We're putting it in the air. Yes. When you become a judge, do you have your sights set on something that you like a certain change that you would like to dive into once the time allows? Is there like a certain particular place that you're like, this is where I want to start, this is where I think change should begin? Or
absolutely. So I would love to be assigned to juvenile court.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Juvenile, that's the hardest. It's needed. But
it's needed. It's needed. And I think, again, the chance to redirect someone out of this system is huge to me. I think our youth deserve a chance. And if they, again, see somebody that looks like them, that knows their story, that has a similar story, I think I could do a lot of good there. And, still being fair, seeking justice, but just doing good to encourage our youth out of this system. So I would love to go to juvenile. I've been in mental health court for over a year now. I would do mental health court, any court that I'm assigned to. The presiding judge called me up and told me you're going to family law. I would go there. Anywhere that I can do what I need to do, and just show people that the system, there's a lot of distrust about the system right now, and that the system can work with the right people in it. That's my goal.
How does your family feel about you running?
They're so excited. I'm very close to my mom, and I have a 35-year-old daughter, the single daughter that I raised as a single parent. She has a 13-year-old daughter, so I have a granddaughter.
Oh, generational.
Yeah, 4 generations. And we hung out all weekend, but my daughter is a registered nurse at LACUSC Hospital. I'm so proud of her because, again, circumstances. And for a portion of her youth, I was fighting cancer. So my village stepped in, my grandmother, my mother, my aunts, they stepped in and provided and gave her what I couldn't go being sick. Always brought her to the hospital. They looked out for her. And just, so when I graduated from law school, I gave each of them a diploma because I felt like they went through it with me. So
Of course,
I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done it without
your
them.
support tribe.
My support tribe. Girl. They are, well, my grandmother's no longer with us, but she is funny. She always told me, like, because she was sick, she had colon cancer, and she's like, I'm not gonna die until you pass the bar. I passed the bar. She goes, I'm gonna die until you get sworn in. And so my grandmother, as a younger adult, she worked in a beauty shop that was all white, but she was the cleanup person in the beauty shop. But in that, she met friends that worked in the shop, that one of them became a judge. He's a judge in Orange County. It was so important for him to swear me in. The day I was sworn into the bar, we went to Orange County for him to swear me in. It was like the best day in her life. And she died shortly after that. So it was like just bittersweet, for her to be able to see it. And so, because then she said, well, I'm not going to die until you make your first million. Well, I still haven't done that.
Well, you're almost there.
I'm almost there. So.
Listen, right. I'm a professor, okay? I manifest. That's what I do. The things that I have in my life, I am grateful for, but I manifest it. I talk to the Lord all the time. And I say,
every day. Every day. So my family, my mom is super proud. Like, she's putting together my yard sign. She's reaching out to people. My mom is a softball official, and she trains softball officials. So she's got all the softball officials, working. And so
I love it.
Yeah, my granddaughter's 13. My granddaughter's like, Grandma, I told all the kids at school to vote for you. I'm like, you realize they can't vote, right? She's like, no, but their parents can.
Yeah. Okay, like 3 more questions here. The next one is, why should we vote for you?
Because I am the best candidate in my seat. I am real true diversity, what we need on the bench. Out of nearly 600 judges in Los Angeles County, less than 5% are Black women. And we need diversity. We need people that make decisions to understand the community. The communities are diverse, and different people come from different backgrounds. And you need to be involved in the community to understand it and be from the community. And so I think I am the best qualified to do that. And I just want to do the right thing. I want to be able to make decisions that people can live with, even if they don't agree with it. They feel like they were respected, they were heard, and they got a fair shake. And so I think I'm the most capable. I've been rated well qualified by the Los Angeles County Bar Association. I've received endorsements from different groups within the community. And I think I'm the most qualified to. I have the most diverse experience in the DA's office. I've been in mental health, elder abuse, major narcotics. I've done parole hearings. I've done search warrant duty. I teach project lead. And so I have the breadth of experience in and out of the office to make me fit to be a great judge.
Well, you heard it here. Oh, so where can I go to vote for you?
So you should receive a mail-in ballot this past weekend. It's coming up week, or you can go to the polls on June 7th. Pick Sharon Ransom. I'm running in seat 60. And just, if you want to vote early, which you should, you mail in that ballot and vote. Make sure you check seat 60.
So you guys heard it here. So now we got one last question for her. Let's see. Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles. Cinnamon waffles.
She said waffles.
Yes. Waffles.
I want to thank you for taking the time for allowing me to interview you. I can say that you're humble, empathy, you're relatable, and you have a great softness and a firmness that I would love to see as a judge.
Thank you.
Excuse me. So I can't wait to see your journey. I will be following you. I will be voting for you.
I will expect you to, and I will expect you to.
Yes, ma'am. And you will see that. So we will keep in touch, and I wish you blessings. California Crusader newspaper, we wish you blessings on your journey.
Thank you so much. This has been awesome.
You're wonderful. So I'll keep in touch.
Okay, definitely. You better.
Bye.